Hello everyone, it's a boy Moonborn aka Bar Boy from the Creeks. Get something with the smell I would like to talk about. You know, our ancestors used to have more than one wives before the colonization and the introduction of Christianity. Our ancestors practiced a belief where a man is allowed to marry more than one wife as long as he can take care of his family. Then the colonial masters came with their beliefs and abolished that practice that it is wrong for a man to have more than one wife, one man, one wife. That is how a family should be. And which we know in the society, the ratio of women to men, women are more than men. If we are going head on head like one, a lot of women will never see husbands. But the colonial masters said the ways of our ancestors were bad. It's against God's will. God only created one man for one woman. We all now said, yes, that's the right way. And we started practicing one man, one woman. Because the colonial master said the old ways are wrong. Okay. Now, in the world we find ourselves today, same people that said it's against God's will to have more than one wife are saying it is okay for a man to get married to a man and a woman to get married to a woman. And they are imposing that on the African nation for us to pass bills that we should accept same-sex marriage, which in every right senses is wrong, is diabolical. But the same people that brought the Christianity to you and told you that a man to have many wives is wrong are now pushing the agenda of same-sex marriage, man getting married to man, woman getting married to woman. With your common sense, if God will kick against one man marrying more than one wives, do you think that same God will accept man getting married to a man? Can't you understand that the what we call religion today, Christianity, has practically demoralized us, has made us useless as a people? Even the goats, the dogs we claim that doesn't have sense like us, a man goat can never go and climb another man goat. A man fowl can never go and climb another man fowl. But the so-called Christians, the so-called righteous ones, the so-called leaders of the Christendom are pushing agendas of same-sex marriage, corrupting our society and making us more useless by the day. Let me give you an instance. Let's have an island of 100 men, same-sex marriage in an island, and let's go back there in 60 years' time and see what will be the result of that if that was the purpose of nature of man. If that was the purpose that God has intended for man, let's have these same-sex marriage people in a community or in an island, just them, isolate them, and let them live alone for 60 years, and let's go back and see the progress of that society. If you go there in 100 years' time, what you will find is skeletons, bones. The number one purpose of every living creation is to reprocreate. And same-sex marriage goes against that fact. that number one purpose of every living thing, reprocreation. You were brought into this world by another life, and you owe that life that brought you to bring another life into this life through you. Christians will tell you number one purpose of this world of humans is to serve God. Let's live, if the number one purpose of humans is to serve God, let's leave the Christians in a village, in an island. Let them not reproduce. Let them just serve God. All they do is serve God. Come back in 60 years time, in 100 years time, what you will find is skeleton. Nobody will be serving that God again. And you tell me that the ways of my ancestors are diabolic, are wrong, are against God. And these ways, these new ways that were pushed on us by the colonial masters are the true way. And yet, every single day, we are deteriorating as humans, as society. Everything about us is going down the drain. No values, no nothing. More depressed souls everywhere. The so-called one man, one marriage are full of divorce, disappointment, depression, sadness, death. Can you compare the level of happiness we have in cities to the level of happiness we have in our local villages, our communities, where the ways of the ancestors are still striving to survive? Like, they are at the brink of extinction, but at least in the villages we still have little practices and little beliefs of the ancestral ways. Can you compare the level of happiness in these mega cities and the rural communities? No, you can't. There's more happy people in the villages than the cities. The cities that these colonial ways, the teachings of these colonial masters are dominant, are full of depressed and sick people. But when you go to the villages, you find more happy and free people. And you tell me the ways of the ancestors are evil. Let's just leave these same-sex marriage people in a isolated community. Just them. Let them not communicate with any other with straight people. Let them not communicate. The women should be isolated in just their own community, the same sex. The men should be isolated in just their own community, the same sex. And let's leave them there for just 60 to 70, 100 years, and let's go back. What will you find? If you go back to that community, I promise you, you will find skeletons of bones. And whoever is alive by then will be a depressed sadist. Think, use your brain and think. It's not everything they tell you in church or your pastor say or they write in books that you believe. Do you know lies can be written in books? They told us that the Bible was written by God. And you and I know that anything that has to do with book, ink, and paper is written by man. Use your head. Think. Think. It's not a crime to use your brain and think. God gave you this brain for you to use it and think. Think. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery.